Keep Stream Skip for the second episode of our season 2 and our second episode on YouTube. This theme today is going to be all about Valentine's Day. I'm one of your hosts, Nick.
I'm Samantha.
I'm Juliana.
I wasn't even going to ask you. I was going to introduce you guys, but you just interrupted me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So if you haven't watched or listened to our previous episodes, we basically review a bunch of movies, whether they're really, really bad or really, really good, or modern classics to all the way in the back. And we're going to give you spoilers. We're going to tell you what we think about it. And the best thing is that we don't know what each other thinks until we get right here on the on the recording. Not really live, but so
we can go live.
Yeah,
we're live.
It is live at the time.
We're alive.
We're alive. Yes, we're alive.
I'm not a ghost, I swear.
Thank God. Who's the ghost at our gym that we were talking about earlier?
I know you were.
There's like a little old lady, and we're pretty sure she's a ghost.
Right, she wore the same thing twice.
Did she try to help you with your pottery?
No, but once she inquired about me.
Yeah, she was like, "Where's your friend?" I was like, she doesn't come on Friday. She goes, "Oh," and then super hurriedly like grabbed all her stuff and then said something really weird, and I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't like goodbye or like nice to see you again. It was like,
time, Gadget.
And
next
then,
time.
left. And I was like, oh. She didn't like that Sam was not there.
It's not creepy at all that an old lady would be stalking you.
Yeah.
So
It would make more sense if she was a ghost, though.
a little bit.
In my head, it would be.
It makes total sense.
So going back to what we do.
Speaking of ghosts.
This movie does
How's
not
that
have ghosts.
How's that
The
transition to
ghosts of relationships past.
There we go.
ghost emoji? Send.
There you go.
Just kidding.
True story. So what we do is we're going to give you some fun facts. We're going to give you the film, of course. And again, we spoil it. And if there's anything that we got a trigger warning you guys about, we'll let you know. What we do go over is things like screenplay, direction, acting, editing, special effects, cinematography, and music score. At the end, we give you a final rating and whether or not each one of us would keep, stream, or skip it. So without further ado, we have Juliana's pick.
On today, January 31st, 2025.
Yes, we also give you the date that it was recorded.
That way, if we say that it's streaming somewhere, you're not like, oh, let me go see it's streaming, and then realize that they took it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to be as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
So
Keyword try.
What do we got?
Yeah.
We have my pick, La La Land, one of my absolute favorite movies, from 2016, rated PG-13. It is a musical romance film and a little bit of a drama, I would feel. Very tragedy. Written and directed by Damien Chazelle. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
Sounds about
I would
right.
say that.
All right.
It'd be kind of weird if it was Chazelle.
Chazelle. I kind of like it. The Chaz.
I mean, if you heard, well, I keep on saying you saw. If you heard our last episodes in season 1, we mispronounce at least one name every episode.
Yeah.
It's become tradition.
But this is not the one.
Right. This is not the one. This is not the one this time.
So, Damien Chazelle, if you could get back with us.
Yeah. Starring actors like Ryan Ryan Gosling, and Emma Stone, both on my list.
Don't forget J.K. Simmons.
Oh, of course. I honestly
Huge
almost
role.
did write him down, and then I thought about his role in this, and I was like, it would be pretty funny if I was like J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, it should have been at the top.
J.K. Simmons was actually the lead.
Yeah, secretly.
Yeah. Secretly. You'll understand. When he comes back that second time.
There should be a spinoff.
I need to see more.
Just him firing pianists.
Yeah. Get out of here. And technically you could find this on Prime by purchasing it.
Yeah. Well, it's on Tubi, Disney Plus, and Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
The internet lied to me then, because that is not what it said. That's why I brought the film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe on Tubi, Disney Plus and Prime.
You can maybe look at it. Who's to say?
I don't
Anyhow,
know. Yeah.
all right, you ready for the budget?
yes.
Yes.
Budget was $30 million, and they grossed $448 million.
25 million is for shutting down that on-ramp.
Yes.
Yes.
At the very beginning, yes.
And then the $5 million is,
yeah,
the pay.
right? Just crazy. So, anywho, yeah, it was one of the highest grossing films that year, 2016,
Yeah.
when I was a junior.
Damien is a moneymaker. Like he did like Whiplash and he did Babylon. But Babylon I don't think did too well, but Whiplash, wow.
I've never seen it.
It's very good. Also jazzy.
I just love jazz. Honestly, this movie really made me love jazz. No joke.
Really?
Beforehand, I was like, yeah, all right, jazz. This movie, I was like, jazz.
Until you like listen to acid jazz, then everybody's like, oh, never mind.
I feel like we have to listen to that at
See,
some
I'll,
point.
after this,
See,
I'll show you.
Chicago, all that jazz.
Oh,
There
all
you
that jazz.
That's
yeah.
not jazz though. That song, all that jazz, isn't really jazz.
Listen, I just like the song.
I know.
Where they,
I know. I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
And
It's
murder
like-
everyone.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, I like that song too.
I did that song in my theater. In
He
high
had
school.
it coming.
He had it coming.
One
I
of these
was
days, we're
the-
gonna get to the plot.
I was the
Oh,
one
yeah.
one. Well, it's musicals.
We're
Like
not doing
as
Chicago.
a previous theater kid, I feel like I've got to.
She's gonna sing the plot to you.
Oh yes.
Dim the lights.
Dim the lights.
Spotlight. Juliana. Center stage.
Play that jazz music.
That's always how I thought
Do
things
do
would go.
do do.
But I can't sing for shit. So
Oh, okay.
Although my kids wanted us to do a rap video. They're like,
What?
you can be that cute teacher that does the rapping and we can be in it. And I'm like, no.
You could take lessons from Paul Bernardo. My name is.
I can't tell you what it really is. I can only tell you what it feels like.
Wow.
And now,
And now
the
on
plot.
with the program.
I'm gonna drink more of my scotch on that note.
We do need to do some fun coloration with this video where it's just like old-timey movie.
all the prime colors.
Yeah. All the prime freaking colors. Every time I watch it, all the prime colors just astounds me.
See,
Very
I
colorful
It's the
film.
first thing on my list, color scheme.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until, like, I didn't notice the first time I watched it, but then when you had mentioned it, I couldn't unsee it.
Right? Once you see it, it's literally everywhere. In the set design, in the costume design, in the lighting. They use
Yeah.
those 4 primary colors consistently throughout the film. And it's wild.
Costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we open up on the ramp,
The freeway.
the LA ramp
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they closed down to film in I think that the internet said it was 109 degrees outside.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was hot. All of the dancers that they had, which was only about 30 actually, because everybody else was CGI. They had extra
That's
clothes.
really good special effects.
I know,
I didn't
right?
know that.
I
That's-
didn't
I
know
thought
that
that was
until I
real.
read it. I thought it was real too. I was like, first of all, I was impressed that many people were on cue with the dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, holy crap, those aren't even people. That's computer. That's crazy. So, but they all had extra clothes in their car because it was so hot
Yeah.
that they had to keep changing clothes.
What about those people in the back of the truck that were playing the instruments that had to wait
Yeah,
for that
Oh my
cue?
God.
Because it's a single shot, so they have to wait in the back of the
Oh,
truck
God.
in that heat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That first shot being entirely one shot, like if one freaking person had fucked up their timing,
They had to
they had to start all over.
Yeah. And those guys had to fake a smile after
Right.
being locked in there like
Right. Like, oh my God, it's so hot. And you know what? This is like my, I think, 8th time watching this film. But there's the one thing I realized this time around was that they're all doing something like totally different. Like one girl's hula hooping, and one guy's
Yeah.
skateboarding, and one dude is doing whatever, break dancing. And I was like, oh my God, what if those are resembling the things you put on your resume to make you stand out?
As
Like, I'm really talented at this one thing. Because, like, as an
Right.
actor, you have to have some sort of leg up against
Yeah.
the other people. And I was like, wow. Because I was like, this is my 8th time watching it. Why are they doing all this? Like, it's fun. It's cool. I was like, why is
I thought it was good choreography, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mandy Moore did a great job.
Wait.
Not
what?
the Mandy.
Oh, okay.
Moore.
I was like,
also Mandy Moore.
I was like, wait a
I had to do a
second.
deep dive because I was like, holy crap, Rapunzel.
I was wondering why you were saying Mandy Moore a lot. And I was like, why are you saying Mandy?
Yeah. Well, because I was like, oh my God, my favorite princess choreographed it. And I was like, no, it's someone else. But yeah. So, where do we go from there? I'm just always so memorized.
So we
mesmerized
get introduced to the main characters
At the end
of that
thing.
dance sequence, right?
Yeah,
In
Emma
traffic.
Stone's and her in her car.
Right. It starts and it ends with traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. With them meeting due to traffic. And yeah, Emma Stone's in her car practicing lines, and then Ryan Gosling's behind her honking at her.
Honk honk.
Rightfully so. Honk honk. Hark hark.
She like flips him off.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I should probably go.
Yeah.
He might be right there. And then we kind of get the background. We see her go to
we see
an
kind of
audition.
we see kind of her story,
Right.
from the traffic jam all the way to the nightclub scene, right?
Yes, because that's where it switches. Yep. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
funny enough, so the lines that she's rehearsing for, right? Oh, I guess we see her go to her job first, right? She's
Yeah.
a barista.
Mhm.
Life sucks. She gets coffee spilled on her way to the audition, which then in the audition, she's doing a great job, but obviously no one's really paying attention because somebody knocks on the door and it's like, they're like, okay, can you pause? Let's take our sandwich order. And then interrupts her in the middle of her monologue.
And if you ever been in an acting situation and somebody does that, it is not a good sign.
Well, actually, that was included via Ryan Gosling's own personal experience with that exact situation happening to him during an audition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but
Right.
I've heard some crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I feel like the brutality of that industry really came out in this film, and it was just...
Well, it's non-artists judging artists. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But you're also looking for that right exact person to portray
Right. I
your
think that's
character
what-
too.
Really resonated with the general public was that romance aspect of it and the relationship of two people having a dream and then it just not working out relationship wise because of said dream. Like, you either choose each other
Or your dream.
or your dream. So,
Which is weird. I mean, I don't know how you can not do both.
I mean, they probably could have, but I think the point of it that the story they wanted to tell was that, you know, some people are just in your lives to help you
Yeah.
become who you are. And
I'm more of a like Tim Gunn kind of guy, like make it work.
designers make it work.
Yeah.
I love it. But after the audition, I mean, we meet her roommates and her, oh my God, wonderful apartment. I want that apartment so bad. I don't know why they left that apartment.
It's probably
to go
like
to
the
his
most
place, but-
unrealistic part of the film.
Right? Is how nice
Not
that apartment
space, not
was.
dancing in space. It was
Yeah, not the dancing in space. It was the freaking apartment.
Well, like
Yeah.
at first
As
I
a
thought
barista.
at first I thought, okay, I see multiple girls. They only show that one bedroom. I'm like, oh, she probably is doing that whole thing where there's 4 people living in that one bedroom plus kitchenette, like, you know, a lot of people do at that young age, especially in like big cities. But then once they showed and they had their own rooms, I was like, bullshit.
Yeah. Bullshit.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then they go into the Someone in the Crowd song, which I just loved. That's one of my favorites, not necessarily because of the lyrics or anything, but the cinematography of it, like the slow motion dancing around her and then the jump in the pool and the spinning around and like
That jump in the pool.
the midsummer jump.
Yeah, I was like, oh, someone's gonna die. Oh no, they didn't. Okay.
It's not that kind of movie.
That's not kind of movie.
Could you
Yay.
imagine?
Oh.
Oh, someone in
back
the crowd
up.
will be the one you need to know to call the ambulance, please.
Well, did he ever make come up from the pool?
Yes.
They're just playing bad 80s covers while it's all going down.
Yes. But yeah, so all of that, which is actually pretty ironic because what is it that lifted her career? It was someone in the crowd of her show later on.
Yeah.
Literally someone in the crowd, so.
And she was in the crowd at the time for Ryan's character.
Yeah. Someone in the crowd, man.
Crowd work will get you everywhere.
You've heard it here. Coming to you next time with a live studio audience.
It's just like 3 dogs.
Well, I know we have Toby. Where are you going to pull the other 2?
You just hear incessant licking.
Or barking.
Yeah. Anywho. After that.
So then somehow she reaches the club, right? She leaves the party and then she walks home. Well, she walks somewhere.
Yeah, she's walking and she gets drawn in by his song, which is obviously played then as their song for the rest of the film.
Right. And then once she enters the club, before we even see him, it cuts all the way back to the beginning, but his side of the story.
Right, his point of view, after he's like honking at her. Was that your horn?
Yes.
I thought it was more of a stabbing psycho thing. Yeah. What's your horn?
Dreams. No, I'm just kidding.
What? So your horn is psycho sounds named Dreams.
Sure.
It's a lot to unpack.
I feel like that would be something.
This is sponsored by BetterHelp.com. No, I'm just kidding.
I can imagine actually like pulling up to somebody and be like,
That would be so funny. They'd be like, oh my God, what?
I don't think anybody would
mean?
ever get in my way again, though.
They'd be like, that one lady's coming with the horn. It's not even that she's scary, it's the insinuation.
She's gonna follow me home.
All right. So we finally have them starting to create a relationship because before he's like pissed off with her, then he gets fired, then he's at a wedding, well, not a wedding, a party, and
some sort of
doing a
gathering.
gig with these guys. Make some money. Yeah, bad cover of
Right.
Yep. You got it. Thank you for thinking of that because I was like, band
Take
with band.
on me.
Take on me. Thank you.
Me.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love that you kept commenting because they hadn't shown the band when they first
So
came on, and you were like, "What the
The singer
fuck?"
sucked.
And I was like, "Oh, just wait."
Everything else was great.
There's
but
a reason for it, you know.
yeah.
And he's playing the awful keytar afterwards, and he's just looking every time like, "Okay, all right."
At the singer. He's like,
I like how he's like,
obviously very difficult.
he tells him like, "Hey, we're going to be back on in 5," and she's like, "Well, I guess you better go do that because
He's like, I don't listen to him. He doesn't.
I
give
allow
me
him to tell me what to do."
He doesn't tell me what to do. He just told you what to do. I allowed him to.
Yeah, that was like the best exchange ever. I was like, "Yeah, that's a good way of trying to wrap your head around that."
Yeah, right. My favorite other favorite comment that you made was about how only Emma Stone can bring off that energy of being like
Oh yeah, just
over
being
extra, like whatever, like me. No, stop, and it not be like
cringy.
right.
Yeah, so this is my problem. They'll I bet you 10 to 1 someone would be like, "Well, what if Zooey Deschanel let's put her into that role." No. It's cringy.
You know who was supposed to be the role? Emma Watson.
No.
But she had filming complications with Beauty and the Beast
She
at the
looks
time.
too young.
Which is funny because Ryan Gosling turned down Beauty and the Beast to be in this.
He just doesn't like her.
Probably not.
He's like,
He probably
"Fuck
was
you,
like,
Emma
no."
Watson, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. He's just like avoiding every film she's in. No.
Yeah. Oh, and there was another film later on that was supposed to have Emma Stone in it. And then she had to drop out because of scheduling, and it went to Emma Watson. I don't remember what film it was.
I wonder if it's that one that were those girls that were like stealing shit in Hollywood.
It was Little Women.
Oh, never mind.
It was supposed to be Emma Stone as one of the girls. I forgot who Emma Watson played.
Oh,
not Joe.
I don't think
one of the Little Women.
Pugh. What?
One of the Little Women.
Yeah, one of the tiny girls.
I remember back in the day that was like required reading, and I just couldn't. I've
wanted to read it ever since that episode of Friends where Rachel gets Joey to read it, and he's like, "Does Joe die?" or whatever. I don't even remember. And she like spoils it on purpose because
then
he spoiled The Shining.
Yeah,
and she was pissed off at him for it.
That's
and then
funny.
Didn't he put it in the freezer or something?
Yeah, he put The Shining in the freezer. That's how it started.
She put the Shining in the freezer.
No, he put The Shining in the freezer because she opened it up and was like, "Why is The Shining in the freezer?"
And then she.
This is why we say spoiler alert, because you don't know what we're going to spoil.
You don't know what we're gonna spoil. Also, I'm sorry if you haven't watched Friends and we're spoiling Friends for you. I don't know what to say.
We have every right to.
Yeah, we have every fucking right.
Keep, Stream, Skip, and Friends.
All right, so where did we go?
We were at Iran, and Emma Stone.
What happened in that country? So, so we did the synthesizer thing. She kind of flirts with them by
like
requesting the song, and then she gets all like cutesy. Which, I mean, any guy seeing that would have been, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like, okay.
Even if you're.
And then George Michaels him as he's leaving the party.
Right, because now she's talking to this boring old guy, and then
the writer.
She's like, oh my God, okay.
Right, she's like, George Michaels, can you get me my car? It's a Prius. He's like, that doesn't help me. They're all Priuses.
Yeah.
It's in California.
Yeah. And then they have that lovely
dancing tap.
Oh, that freaking tap dance.
Oh, yeah, when they finally
sunset.
hang out and they go out to the...
And the song, they
edge.
start off with the song with like, I hate everything about you.
Right. Pretty much it's like, oh, what a wasted night because it's you and me.
Right.
If we were some other girl and guy, you know, this would be a lovely sky, but it's you and me. So
It feels so classic Hollywood. Because there's been other ones where like the odd couple that falls in love with each other.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's...
I hate you, you hate me.
Yeah.
Then we love each other.
I loved this movie's balance of like real life love, relationships, struggles, depictions of all of that, balanced with the homage to film, like old film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then the seamless blending of old Hollywood and new Hollywood.
Right.
Idealized. I got to emphasize that.
Right. And it was very nice. So,
yeah.
But they have that lovely tap
dance number.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Like long pause.
And this is where things really take off because then they do like a whole montage of them like being together and whatever.
Right. Well, she has a boyfriend at the time because he interrupted the phone call.
Does she though?
But what's interesting is because he invited her to the movie at the Rialto, and then she forgot she had a dinner with her boyfriend, and she goes, and what are they doing? They're sitting there having meaningless conversation, talking over the jazz, which is what he had said people do consistently, is just talk over the jazz instead of like actually listening and appreciating it.
If you talk over the jazz, Kenny G will visit you at night. It's not going to be good.
Nick is Kenny G. No, just kidding.
Nick is Kenny G.
Just kidding.
Oh, geez.
That would be such a weird serial killer move. Like you start hearing Kenny G before you die.
Oh my God.
You have like a boom.
Oh, that's really nice, smooth jazz.
Really nice.
Oh my God.
Serial
You're like you're in the shower. Do.
Serial killer
jazz.
has like this boombox with him.
Yeah.
No, the serial killer has Kenny G on
His accomplice.
Yeah, well, he's like he has him on hire, you know, to like follow him around. He's like paid out Kenny G.
He just like sits there and his eyes goes wide as you're like stabbing somebody. He's like, oh.
I didn't see anything.
But he never breaks, you know, that song. So that's what makes Kenny G. Kenny.
Okay, so then she finally realizes at the restaurant, like, what the hell am I doing? And goes to the theater.
Right. Very romantic, I'm sorry, I have to go. And then she gets to the theater, and then the film...
She gets a hand job. It's PG-13.
Have you ever done anything in a theater?
Yeah, it's like the hand over to hand, that kind of job.
Cute. Okay, but back to my question. Have you ever done anything in a theater?
Not really.
I feel like Sam's lying.
No. I don't kiss and tell. No,
There's a friend that
Ew.
did that. He like sat in the back row and there was like nobody there.
That's like what everyone my age did. That was like the place to go to like get down and dirty, was the movie theater.
Yeah, no, it's no, man.
No, man. Anyhow, I was just curious. I wonder if it's just a generational thing, you know?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
I think Juliana just outed her ass out. You know?
Maybe it was just you.
No, I didn't go to the movie theater with the boys. The one time I went with friends, I was high as shit, and I went and watched Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah.
Yeah, and I was horrified. You know that part in Ant-Man where they shrink the goat or the sheep,
The goat,
and it like explodes or turns into.
I just
blue.
pictured a goat just as it's shrinking.
That's why they didn't pick a goat. That's right. It was a sheep. But still, it was horrifying. I was like, oh, it's horrible.
That's funny.
Anyhow.
Getting high watching Ant-Man and then getting scared
Except for,
of
of
a
course,
sheep.
the whole.
Yeah.
Except
It
for,
was
of
horrible.
course, the whole guy going like.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I said, I think the only thing that ever happened to me was like the whole. You know, where.
I'm like just drinking my
Like,
scotch
just
here and being
awkwardly,
felt up.
like,
Yeah.
felt up your, like, side boob.
Yeah. like you see in some of like the movies.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Wow. So you did get some action in the movie
Okay,
theater.
this-
I knew it!
I guess just a little bit then.
Anyhow, they did not have any action in the movie theater. It burnt up before they could.
Yeah, they were
The
about
film,
to. They were
not
about
the
to
theater.
kiss. They were about to kiss.
So they go to the planetarium, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that's
And
when
then I remember watching that originally and I was like, oh, this took a turn. Didn't think they'd be dancing in space. And then I was like, oh my God, fuck, it's beautiful. I thought it was going to be weird, but it's lovely.
it really was.
It was. And then they have their first kiss and it's like, and then they go through their dating montage. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what was interesting is they did everything through the seasons.
Yeah. Well, and did you notice? So summer, right,
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever. By the time they got back to fall, it was just a black screen with just fall. And it, like, symbolizing the fall
was
of
just
their relationship.
Boom, boom.
It was just like, yeah. Was that Law and Order?
Good call on that, actually. That is pretty Law and Order. Emma Stone was murdered by Jazz. Damn Kenny G.
Damn it, he was in the background. They have him on retainer. That's the word I was thinking of. They're like, hey, Kenny, we actually have a murder scheduled for about 3:30 p.m. Can you make it? No? I guess I could push it to 4.
What about 3:31?
I'm really on a time crunch here. They're leaving spin class right now.
Spin
Oh, that's
class.
probably even the best.
This is the best time to get
can't
'em.
run, right?
No, they cannot.
Yeah, so I was thinking like they're all like noodly legged and everything. It's like,
Well, recently she went to spin class for the first time.
I did for the first time.
they have a spin class?
No, in Denver.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah, my friend had me go with her. And let me tell you, it was a very interesting time. The vibes were immaculate, but my legs,
not demure.
not to me. I didn't realize how weak I was.
The worst is like I used to do spin classes all the time, and the instructor is so important because you don't know what kind of music you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
And what sucks is when you get like either the super religious one
Oh.
or they just feel like they want to be on a safari and they start playing like weird music that
Oh. No, we
Sounds
got
like
some
National
good shit. We
Geographic.
had like Pink Pony Club. We had Messi up in there. And I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm so with it, but I can't stand another second or I'm going to face plant into this freaking bike.
So at one point it got to, so the instructor got off her bike and I guess she was paying attention of who was going, who wasn't. Mm-hmm. And so she started like, oh, you need to go a little easier, goes to me, cranks it up. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, my thighs are already burning. I'm like, dude.
I would have cried.
Oh.
I had a bruise where I've never imagined a bruise would be after that. Stupid freaking spin class.
Speaking of Law and Order, you're like,
dun dun.
It's the bike. It was the bike.
It was the bike. Anywho, so Emma Stone got murdered after going out of spin class to Kenny G.
There's a whole musical thing about it.
That's on the other track.
Right.
But back to this one that we actually watched.
So their relationship starts to fall because Ryan Gosling, Sebastian, takes a job from John Legend. John Lennon.
Comes back from the dead. Gives him a job. Did you know you should be about jazz? Real jazz.
But yeah, he takes a job and it's doing something that's totally not his style. Like
it's not even jazz.
It's not even jazz.
Yeah.
John, and he hates
the hell,
it.
John
But you can
Lennon?
tell he doesn't even like it.
Right.
John Lennon.
Right.
John Lennon.
You started, it got stuck in my head.
Did you know? Here's another little fun fact for you that John Legend is a very skilled pianist and had to learn guitar for this role. Whereas Ryan Gosling is very good with the guitar and had to learn piano on scratch for this role. And John Legend said, I was going to say Lennon.
Did I just get cut out of this role?
Get out of here, Lennon. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do what?
I was waiting for Cool Cat to make an appearance. Every time I... No, she knows. Where's I going with that? Oh, John Legend said he was like incredibly jealous of Ryan Gosling's ability to learn piano as quickly as he did.
Wow.
Some people just can do it.
Some people have that
ability.
He just probably seduced the piano at that point.
Right. I mean, he seduced me playing that piano. Did you see him like one hand in his pocket, just like...
I mean, I guess. I just pictured like some nerd with a keyboard be like, I could do that. Look at that. I'm typing a whole sentence.
Not like him. Not with the hair swoopy.
You have to look
moody. That is a challenge now.
Yeah.
So send in your video.
Bite your lip.
Bite your lip. That would be kind of funny. Instead of like an old British photographer, if he was just like, bite your lip. I have the money.
Anywho. So yeah, he goes on tour. He's not enjoying it. They have a big fight.
Of course.
I didn't feel like a big fight though.
It was a big fight.
It was a big fight.
Was it?
Yeah.
God, you're such a man.
I didn't. It felt like he was just like, I'm done.
No, she was like, I'm
She
done.
was done.
Oh, her. I thought you meant John Legend.
It's like, what do you mean?
I was like, what kind? What did you not?
You were like,
think
it
of
wasn't
as
that big
big
of a
Because remember in the
She
studio,
left
he's like,
the house.
nah. I'm like, that was a big fight.
Yeah. They
John
let me be
Legend's like,
specific. Sebastian and Mia had a big fight.
Right, because also,
I'm with you now.
Okay, because also at the
Lots of
time
green.
when he was off doing his own thing with the band, she had her one-woman show that she wrote, and he was not there to support her.
Well, it was one woman show.
Right.
Don't get it?
I think my favorite bit every time we do this is when Nick says something and both you and I are like,
What?
One
Yeah.
woman.
Okay. This is what happened.
If you know, please tell us.
The joke goes, if it's a one-woman show and he wasn't there, it's because it was a one-woman show.
It was only for one person?
Correct.
Did you get it? I still don't get it. I'm lost.
Haha.
Aw, we love you, Nick. What the fuck? Oh, these are my
There was
favorite
other people in the
moments.
audience though that told her that she could that she should not quit her dream job,
Right. They were like, no,
and she
you're not
overheard
good.
them.
She's so shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She ran all the way to Boulder City.
Nevada.
Yeah. By the way, do you say Nevada or do you say Nevada? Like it's supposed to be said.
Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada.
Damn it. No.
I say Nevada.
Nevada?
Nevada.
That is. I'll take that over Nevada.
Nevada.
There's no DAH on the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Nevada.
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 So we have Nevada, Nevada,
Nevada.
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 I like Nevada. Honestly, petition to
It's like
change
when
the
someone
name.
says Oregon instead of Oregon.
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 I go to Oregon.
go to
Oh,
Oregon.
fuck off.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
Kind of sound like Oregon. Oregon.
Yeah, it's Oregon.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
What?
It sounds like Oregon, like an organ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, O-R-E,
I was
or.
just saying.
And then G-O-N, gone. Oregon.
Oregon. Technically, shouldn't it be Oregon?
Nevada.
Oregon? I don't know.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
So Nevada, she's in Nevada
Anyway.
with her family because she's like, I'm going home, and he's like, you are home, and she's like, no, I'm not. Right.
That was a great reenactment. Are you doing a one-woman show?
So,
I'm doing a one-woman show about law.
I'm going home. No, you're not. This is home. It's not anymore.
can I just point out when Ryan Gosling gets her back, Sebastian gets her back to, realizing, hey, you got the casting call. He gets the casting call, whatever.
You're
Tells
a
her about it.
baby.
That was like he recalled his acting in Notebook so hard because they had that that whole fallout outside the car.
I've never seen the Notebook.
Neither have I, but I remember that clip
Oh, okay. I was like,
because that was really good acting in that clip. I just didn't want to because I knew what the
I know
ending
it's like
was.
a classic, but I've heard that it's a very toxic relationship. So
It is,
Not watching.
and it ends very horribly.
I cried, and I will never watch it again.
You gotta find the meaning in the sadness. You gotta find the meaning in the anger. You gotta find the meaning in the happiness.
The first 5 times I watched La La Land, I cried every time.
Sometimes sometimes you gotta do it.
Sometimes you gotta.
You
cry.
gotta do it.
I'll listen to the epilogue sometimes.
It's like when you listen to
Turn it
Enya
on.
in the bathroom and you start to cry for no reason. While
listen to-
farting over Taco Bell.
The farts.
Personal experience, I'm guessing. No.
That quesarito.
Oh God, the farts afterwards. I can't take it.
Sail away, sail away, sail away. Put the wind into your sails. With the farts.
With the farts.
All right, so she goes to the audition.
She does go to the audition. Thank you very much, female GFK. JFK. Good Lord.
I don't even know why you said it like that. It just came out.
Because the farts.
We are.
By the way, that's
very
from The Lighthouse.
professional.
One of the most quotable movies.
Quotable movie.
Quotable movies.
Hark.
So she goes to the audition, and they're like, just tell us a story.
Right, because they're shaping the movie around the actress.
Right.
So she gives them a story about Die Hard and says, one time in Nakatomi Plaza.
And then she sings the rest of it.
Yeah. I've got a machine
And she
gun.
just
ho,
sings,
ho, ho.
yeah, a Christmas song.
Santa Baby, by the way.
I just picture Bruce Willis saying Santa Baby while gunning down like, those guys.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is. It just works.
Everybody's going to think we like really smoked a bowl before we did this.
Yeah. So when Emma Stone was singing Audition, she was singing that entirely live.
Really?
Because the Justin Hurwitz was playing piano in the other room and broadcasting it to like headphones that she was wearing. So she was just kind of singing along that way in order to give her more control over the scene, kind of like the character had
Great
control
idea.
of the story.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
The other thing is too is that cinematography for this. I mean, we had a plentiful shots that were amazing, but that shot was just straight up bragging at that point where the light is in such a way that they were able to 360 her and not show anything but her, and still keep the light the same angle, which was phenomenal.
Yeah. That movie does something for me.
Easy now.
All right. So obviously she gets the movie, but they tell her, we don't know how long it's going to be.
Right. Filming in Paris.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la
So
la.
naturally, the woman decides to break up with the man because why not?
Well, she wanted him to.
She's being a boss bitch, okay?
Sick playing with the man like that.
Well, I mean,
Jazz.
he was
Just
okay with it,
gone.
though.
Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know why he was.
I think it's the best because he was feeling forced into the band in order to support her, right? Because he had overheard that conversation she had with her mom about how he couldn't
Find a
afford,
job.
like he didn't have a stable job and whatever. So I feel like he felt kind of trapped in a way. Not that it was either one of their faults. I think again, it's just one of those films that's like
Kinda
right
real.
person, wrong time.
So I'm just gonna point out High School Musical, and we're looking at a very similar situation where it's very solvable, and nobody wants to do the math, and that to me is just weird.
If you can't do the math, then get out of the equation.
That's a song.
I'm calling you back.
This is star 69.
He has no clue.
I know. Yes, finally. It's the other way around.
Okay,
now we get to play something for you after the break. Anywho.
Oh, no.
So then, they break up. Then it kind of fast forwards 5 years from then, and you see her,
with the most vanilla prick ever.
her ex-boyfriend.
What?
What?
Was it the
No.
guy?
No.
No.
Oh, it's somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, they just
They look like. She might have a
similar.
type. And again, that was like
Yeah, that is
Ryan
the type.
Gosling
Yeah.
came in
Safe.
and was like the different type. Yeah, but this was like the safe type.
Yeah, because he had
Well,
the same
and the
short
thing
hair.
is, they have this great choreography, right? Or not choreography, montage, where you see like
could've
almost
been.
like what she's thinking, what he's thinking, even though it's all in her. But because the old film to me is like what he's thinking, what he thought could have been, because it's very mid-century modern the way it looks with the kids and all, and hers is very flashy and more modern, I guess you could say, and dancing and so forth. And it's all about like the one that got away. But you both let it go. There was no reason to let it go. She's going to do a film. You're out on tour. This is perfect. She accomplished what she needed to accomplish, which is why you went on tour in the first place. So if she's done, then you can start to slide on out of there and make your club.
I think the movie showed us why that wasn't going to be possible because he was already on tour and there was already that tension almost building when they were separated and she was working on her own thing and he was doing his own thing. And that's kind of where we had that initial break.
conflict.
Right.
Remember the Odyssey, everybody? Homer's The Odyssey. The
With
guy was gone forever.
20 years.
Yes. still
Thank you,
stuck
Epic,
with them.
the musical. Again, another musical. Yes.
No, I mean, those two were so perfect for each other that it's
They
almost
were
like
both
they.
willing to be separated for 20 years.
Not Odyssey. I'm talking about this.
Oh.
one.
I thought we were talking
We're not
about
talking about Odysseus.
Penelope and
So, like,
Odysseus. My bad.
like it just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, you're only talking maybe 6 months, and even then, it's not like you can't pop in. Come on. This is so weird. It's so hard. Everybody says like, oh, there's billions of people. You can just find whoever. You know how many crazy assholes are out there? I know you guys know out there. This is a Valentine's Day episode.
Stop.
It's true.
We're
When
gonna
you
see some
finally
more
find
crazy
that
people
person
after.
and you just go, it's inconvenient. You're a dumbass.
Yeah, but she found someone else.
Well, but like the thing
And
is,
she's not happy.
The thing is that
She looked
both
pretty happy.
wanted
Not
to-
at the end.
They both wanted a. They both had a dream, and the dreams didn't go together.
Don't let your dreams lie to you. So here's the thing.
Involve your
Because
dreams.
if
in
you look
the-
at her face, it was just like, whoop.
In my new
They were
horn.
both they were both depressed at the end. They saw each other and went,
I don't think so.
I
no,
screwed
they
up.
had that. No, the last moment was both of them looking back at each other and going,
yeah, but
Yeah.
her was just like, and then he was just like, oh, I'm gonna be a little petty and play this song.
yeah, he played their song on purpose. To
Yeah.
be like, what could have been. But
That's a
I
guy's
think it
way
was,
of going.
I think it was a closure moment.
No,
Yeah.
that's a
I
guy's
think it
way
was
of going,
closure.
you screwed up. Here
Really?
it
Did she though?
is."
Because she's married with a child and he's alone.
Yeah.
He's got money.
So who really is?
So
the
they both
loser?
won, is what I'm saying.
No, they didn't win.
No,
they
I did-
lost in the end. I'm gonna go down as they lost in the end in my interpretation.
Yeah, well, all the producers of this film collectively at the beginning shook hands and said they are not getting together at the end of this.
They're terrible people because they're lonely and just bitter.
Yeah,
That's
she-
why
not
they did that.
lonely.
They had a
It's
very happy film.
realistic.
They took two characters and just drove them into the ground in the end.
As much as it hurts my heart, it's realistic. So are you docking the screenplay for that?
Yeah, actually, I am.
I give it a 10 out of 10. It hurts so good.
Oh, it was lame at there. It just didn't make sense. I can understand like
I disagree.
because she went with
wholly.
somebody who's like, and then if you're truly happy with that person you're married to, right? Doesn't matter what that ex does. You're like, good for you. Play our song. I don't give a shit.
And that's kind of what they did with the little smile
She
at the
gave
end.
a lot of shit.
No, she was like, they like had a moment where they were like, oh yeah, I
Docking another point
remember
for your argumentation.
reminiscing and all of that, and then they were like able to kind of let
I felt
go.
it was more
let
melancholic.
go of what would have been and enjoy what they have now. Their individual.
Just know La La Land in the end is a tragedy. Anyways.
It is. It's a tragedy.
That's bad.
And
So what's your final score then?
It's still a great film. So since we're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and... do you got any fun facts, by the way?
I said them throughout.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah.
wanted to see, make sure.
I like
before
to
we go.
pepper mine in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good peppering.
Thank you.
No, it's a very good pick. It's a very good pick.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. I
liked-
knew you would
I
like
liked-
this musical.
I liked it too, except for I gave it an 8 for screenplay.
I gave it a 9 for screenplay. I docked it 1 point for
ending?
forcing the issue on the ending. Yeah. And not being... If they would have said that... because the little nod, right? Oh, it's actually okay. It's not okay. If they would have said it wasn't okay in the end, then I would have been all right. And it's very classic to old romances in the past. So I get what they're trying to do. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's both of them realizing, ooh, maybe I made a bad decision. Here it's like, I made a bad decision, but I'm not going to reconcile with it. So I am...
Well, I give it an 8 because there was a lot of dialogue, but it was all surface dialogue. I don't feel like they deep dove into really anything.
Oh, I loved
That wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fair point, but I love that
Because,
dialogue.
See, I was quoting him with them.
I know the fact that you 3 times he fucking said the line that they said right afterwards was freaking hilarious. Or at the same time.
Damien and I are sharing the same brain.
For real. But I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Maybe I should start
I
writing
adore
scripts.
it.
Why am I not making La La Land? I'll make you a La La Land. I'll make you a La 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 Land. It's a sequel.
That has nothing to do with the first one because then it's copyrighted. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Al Land. It's Al Bundy in the future.
Ooh.
All right, for direction, I went with a 10.
10.
Out of 10.
Yeah, 10.
Like they
All the choices made were
amazing, and the screen, like you said before, like with the whole colorization, like somebody had to direct that. You know what I mean?
yeah. The fact that those primary colors were used so frequently and like just the color choices, and I know there's a separate choreographer, but like working with them to create your dream.
vision.
Exactly.
You know?
Like his dream came true through this movie and it was beautiful. It was art. It was art. I loved it.
Yeah.
Acting?
Acting was great. And I love the back and forth between Ryan Gosling and J.K. Simmons and the cutesy stuff between Emma Stone
Yeah.
and again, Ryan. They played off each other really well.
They do.
And J.K. Simmons, though, just the way he's like, you're going to play. How about 1 to 2? How about all to you? And it's like, yes,
Yes.
because I told you.
Yeah. Well, I signed off on that. You keep telling yourself this.
Yeah.
See, I gave an 8 out of 10 because I thought the two main characters were amazing, but the secondary characters could have been more.
Interesting.
You wanted more from the roommates?
Yeah,
I give it a 10 out of 10.
I wanted another dance song with them.
Well, the acting.
no,
said
I
10 out of
just
10.
like, you know what I mean, like the secondary characters, like
Like the sister,
wasn't-
John Legend.
yeah.
You know, I honest to God thought you guys would be agreeing on back and forth, and it's actually me and you more
I know.
I know.
That's really strange because
on a musical.
on a musical. To preface, Nick has stated vehemently that he does not enjoy musicals.
Usually,
A lot.
because I've named several musicals that I do have. Even Blues Brothers, that's a musical. So, very good. You haven't seen Blues Brothers, have you?
Blues Brothers? No.
Blues Brothers. Sorry.
No, I'm not seen Blues Brothers.
Blues.
This is when I need to do more vocal exercises.
Blue.
What's a squirrel?
Blue. Oh, I already forgot. Ground squirrel, shake your bushy tail. Wrinkle up into your nose, drop it down between your toes. Ground squirrel, shake your bushy tail.
That's our promo.
There's like way more to it, but that was the shrinked version.
All right, cinematography.
10.
10. Easily.
A million.
Easily.
Over 10.
10. The angles and just the different push through. Oh my God. You know.
Yeah. Very good.
The handheld back and forth, the around the head, like every shot was so thought through and so beautiful.
Yeah.
Same thing with editing.
So unique. Yeah, same with editing.
I gave it a 10.
They
out of
did so
10.
good.
Editing was great. Pacing was great.
Pacing was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music score?
1. No, I was kidding. 0. 10. 10. Very
10.
good. Very, very, very
Gave
good.
it a 10. I think it was also like perfectly placed too. It wasn't like, you know, going back to some of the other ones.
What were you saying earlier about it? Like seamlessly kind of being that.
A cinema and a play melded together just right.
Right.
The horns, the drums, everything felt like I could see this on stage as much as I'm seeing in cinema.
Right. I could
we
hear it
didn't
at a
review it.
jazz club. Like,
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
Everything was like it belonged. And we didn't review Wicked, but that's one of the problems I had with Wicked is it's really, really good. But you could tell when they went, oh, we're going to do stage now. Oh, now we're going to go back to cinema. It was disjointed. So,
And this just does it very seamlessly.
Yeah.
Like, even especially with the epilogue, the music, and then with the shots themselves going through like a stage almost, and like it being very,
yeah.
yeah. Special effects?
For what little it had, I gave it a 10.
Yeah.
It worked. It didn't seem like it was off.
The CGI extra people, the dancing in
yeah.
the stars.
Yeah. Especially since I didn't even know they were CGI.
Right?
So it's like,
Yeah, I gave
oh,
it a 10
obviously
out
it
of
worked.
10.
Crazy.
So,
So, overall?
10 out of
9,
10.
10.
9.
God, why?
Because I hate you.
And
No, just kidding.
final thought, because I already know you keep it.
Yeah.
I said
obviously.
keep. Here we go, because I happened to glimpse over what it said.
I'd probably just stream it.
Samantha hates happiness.
Don't bother coming to the gym on Monday. That ghost.
You know what you should do is just tell her.
I'll let the ghost know. You will no longer be coming.
Just tell her, like, she lives over here. This is the car she drives. See ya.
Just so you know.
Oh my
I
God.
guess I'm not sleeping in.
You know what? I'm going to take my copy of La La Land and go home.
Not until you watch.
I
the
am
movie,
dead
bitch.
as surprised
Bent.
that, like, Juliana and I were on the same, for the most part.
Wavelength.
Yeah. The
Pretty
only
much.
thing we debated was the
ending.
well, the screenplay was still good. It was just the ending. Yeah.
ending.
Like, the interpretations and so forth.
Right.
So beyond that, everything was just.
So this is probably a once in a lifetime thing for you guys.
Yeah. For a musical, I would say so. Unless there's something else, I don't know. Who
Have
knows?
you ever seen Dr. Horrible sing along blog?
What the fuck?
Has Neil Patrick Harris.
Might be good. I don't know. No, I have not. But when we're back, Samantha's
my
pick.
So I married an axe murderer.
Classic. Very good. Mike Myers.
What did you
Coming at you.
Nothing.
See you on the next one. Ah,
All right.
it's working.
All right, and we're back.
Aha.
So, Samantha picked the erotic thriller to turn up the heat.
So I'm married an axe murderer.
So I married an axe murderer.
So, a
So-
murder ox murderer.
No, it's a comedy.
It's a dark comedy and romance.
You know what's funny? They kind of like anytime there's something murdery, they're like dark comedy. I'm like, it's comedy.
It's really not that dark.
No.
No.
No. It's kind of a
there was some-
lighthearted
There was some
darkness.
muck duck in there, but that's about it.
Gray comedy.
Yeah.
It was more of a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it away.
All right. So the movie is So I Married an Axe Murderer. And it was in 1993 when it came out. PG-13. There was only one instance of what fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was very funny. Well placed.
Oh yeah.
The writer was Robbie Fox. And the director was Thomas Shalemi. Me.
Shalami. I'm gonna call him Shalami from now on. I like that.
Shalami.
I just looked down. I'm like, it looks like Shalami.
All right. Some actors were Mike Myers.
Schlame?
Mike Myers.
Sorry.
Playing two roles. Anthony Paglia
Love
and
Paglia.
Nancy Travis. And this is our second
Nancy Travis.
Paglia movie.
Oh.
Yeah, because mixed nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew that. Hold on. I was going back to the for Nancy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a lot of hair envy for that woman.
She had a lot of hair. She's. How's it go?
Hey, Harriet.
Hey,
Sweet
Harriet.
Harriet.
Sweet.
Your hair is big. It looks so nice.
was a
It
lot of
uses
hair.
aqua net so very well. do.
Get me off this thing called hair.
Don't use aqua net down there. Might burn.
But
I'm sure somebody
That
at some
rhymed.
point was like, let me try that.
Yeah, it probably looks like an airbag of hair.
why would somebody want to do that?
I don't know.
Why would
There's some
somebody
sick
be
people
like,
in this world.
You know what would look funny?
And then a dye it
If I-
red.
If I gave it a little perm.
If you've ever done that before, please let us know.
Head, move, no.
Head.
So where you can find this film is currently only on physical copy unless you want to buy it from Amazon.
It might be on Tubi.
I was just about to say, I thought it was on Tubi.
Yeah. So
Tubi.
Wow,
check it
we are
out.
doing really great with this whole streaming
I know, right?
guessing today. Good luck.
All right, so budget was $20 million. However, it only made $11.5 5.
Shame on you for not
surprised.
watching it back in
Yeah.
1993. I did.
Yeah. I don't think I did.
Shame
on
on
you.
you.
I was only 10 years old. Come on.
I was
I obviously did.
yeah. Went back in time.
I was in pre-utero.
You were... It's the thoughts that count. So your mom was probably like, I'm going to have a baby and call her Juliana. And I'm going to watch
Yeah.
this movie.
I don't even think my parents were together at that point.
No, probably
No,
not.
Probably not.
Oh my god, they weren't. Just predated my parents. Because obviously they didn't exist before they had me.
Like all parents, apparently.
Like all
I mean, when did they get
parents.
married?
97?
Okay, yeah, probably not. Because it was 93.
And they didn't date long.
Yeah, I was gonna say 97.
Pretty sure.
Aren't they like 46?
My mom's turning 50 this year?
Oh, I got to do some math later. All right, I'm like trying to figure this out.
All right, so we have it open up to the nightclub, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Is that where it first
Yeah,
starts?
because the cappuccino thing where it's like,
Yeah,
I ordered
right.
a large, and,
and
it's
it's like
obviously
this
huge.
huge thing.
It was
Yeah.
something I really needed in that moment, and I felt really jealous watching them. I was like, "Holy shit, that's a lot
yeah.
of creamer! Oh, that's a
Two-handed.
lot of coffee."
Well,
Two-handed
like
cup.
they did serve giant cup, like not that giant, but they had like giant cups of coffee back then because the cafe scene was really getting big back then. And so like our our wall of frame is based on those cafes because they're all like kooky and cool and
Well, and
loungy.
that's where Friends like started because it was in like a cafe with
Yeah.
coffee couch.
Yeah, you just buy coffee because it's cheap to sell and you just hang out and somehow you make enough money to have a store in San Francisco and New York
Yeah.
selling bean juice.
Bean juice, not like hot leaf juice.
Not like
Ugh.
Hark juice.
Hark juice.
All right, so we have this coffee, and then
This is water.
he goes up to.
I like how we're doing so many references that if they didn't listen to the season 1 podcast, they just lost. 100% lost.
Or-
You need to go listen to the Lighthouse episode at least.
Yeah, you fucking losers.
And
Is
the
this a
baby cat.
PG show?
All right, so back to the movie. So he goes up to the open mic because it's open mic night
Yeah.
at the cafe.
Slam poetry.
Man, I
And-
did not think the slam poetry was going to be a recurring theme throughout. And I'm so glad it was.
Oh, yeah. So good.
And what was his first girlfriend's name? It was like
Shelly?
Sharon?
Sh-
Sharon?
No.
Lee.
Susan?
No.
It was like
It wasn't the one that smelled like soup.
Not
Pretty sure it was Shelley.
Shelley.
It was somebody. When he breaks up with a girlfriend, or he's getting close to that point where he's going to break up with a girlfriend, he does like a slam poetry session about her. And this one was like, she was a thief,
right.
and like she apparently stole his cat, allegedly.
Because he's super paranoid.
Oh,
And-
yeah. Yeah.
It's just an excuse for his commitment issues.
And his
Right.
friend, played by Anthony LaPaglia, who is a cop who looks, he's trying to be undercover for whatever reason. We don't know why he's
Starsky.
undercover at that
Right.
moment.
But he looks like a pimp.
Well,
Yeah, he
wa-
does.
Well, he
like a
wants to
raving
be-
pimp, like rave and pimp put together.
Yeah.
Well-
like, I think my dad had that exact costume for Halloween one year.
Well, what I think he wanted to do was he wanted to be Starsky and Hutch like, and so he was just in the elaborate costume because apparently in the original show that's what they used to go undercover.
Yeah. Because he's like, you look like Huggy Bear.
Yeah, Which was a
Dated
pimp guy,
reference.
I think.
Yeah.
All right, so of course he's like, you always do this, you know, you're afraid of commitment, blah blah blah. And so then the next scene is that like he goes and tries to find a haggis. And
Haggis.
Did you know in 1971, haggis was illegal to sell in the United States.
No.
Why? It's
Why?
sheep stomach.
Right, it's a bunch of sheep stuff, and it was illegal because of all the
Taste.
inner workings and stuff like that. So they had
taste. That taste should be illegal.
What they sold to him was actually like a combination of different other things, just disguised as just saying.
So it was still illegal then?
Mm-hmm.
When was it not illegal? What? Wait, why? Like, did they ever say why? Why? Like, just because it's organ meat?
Just because of like the different organ meats that were intertwined in there.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that is stupid weird.
They're like, it's too much. And now we have hot dogs. And what the hell is that?
Well, especially like sausages where they use the intestine
nugget
casing.
Right.
And then you have things like black and white pudding, which is very good. It's organ meat, but it's very good.
Yeah.
Yep. And
dude,
we were headed
it's
towards
so
that.
good. If I didn't tell you, you'd be like, why is this so good?
No.
Foie
See, now
gras.
you told me and I'll never try it.
I'll just be like, here's sausage and wait.
She's never eating sausage.
I will never eat your sausage again.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Get out of the gutter.
I'm sorry. I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Speaking of haggis.
Okay.
What?
I'm not doing that joke. I'm not doing the next
don't
joke.
touch it.
Okay, so
Don't touch it.
So
Stop making double entendres.
he goes to the butcher and he gets his haggis, and the butcher is the blonde, like, oh, she looks sweet and innocent, but she's a butcher, so I don't know what the appeal there was. Maybe because she
knows how to work with meat.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. So
that wasn't the only thing that was.
He goes to his parents' house.
And?
I don't know. Help me out.
SATURDAY. So anyways, he goes to his parents' house, which a lot of funny things happen. The kind of reoccurring theme is here where not only is his friend telling him about like, hey, you keep on breaking up with these girls and you're just making excuses. His mom does the same thing to him. His dad is also played by Mike Myers. And there's some funny stuff while they're watching the soccer game about
while they're watching the soccer game, Anthony Paglia is just cracking up, and that was not planned. He wasn't supposed to be cracking up like that. It was just spur of the moment just because of his character, who's so over the top.
That's so funny. But this is where you're introduced to the 8th most circulated newspaper in the world, which is basically the world tabloid.
Tabloid.
And we're not talking like New York Post. We're talking like
or National
Bat Boy.
Yeah.
And both you can see how the parents get along because they both believe in conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, whatever. And comes across a newspaper later on in the story that will develop while he's dating Harriet. Because he helps Harriet in the butcher shop when she's over.
Where's that car horn?
Well, isn't that the time that she introduces him to Lady X?
Yes. Is in that newspaper.
Yeah, but in that when he brings over Harriet first time? No, that's okay.
No,
so
because then he sees the newspaper again.
Oh, again. Okay.
Yeah, but the first time he sees it is when he's like scolding his mom for like believing in any of it. Yeah. And it was like, wish you luck.
This man gave birth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because on the front of the
it's right here.
Man gives birth to baby.
Speaking of split sausage.
Okay. Anyway.
It's not just me.
So then they go back and forth, and then the mother like makes out with Anthony.
Yeah, what was that running bit that she was just like all over Anthony LaPaglia?
Well, yeah, because then she was like, "Oh, you grew up to be a nice, handsome boy."
Yeah, she like full on makes out with him, and then later at the wedding is like groping him and koala bearing. Yeah, poor dude.
He's like literally trying to grab. She's so strong he can't pull her off.
There was some wild moments in this film. For sure.
Man, it was great. It was great. But what I love as the story progresses of all the cool shots of San Francisco, some of them stereotypical, but like if you love San Francisco, you're going to see some great shots back in the early 90s. And I was a kid that lived about an hour out from San Francisco, so it's very nostalgic.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So then
moving on.
So then after the dinner,
Fuck you, Nick, and your San Francisco.
San Francisco story.
And your rice-a-roni.
I love you. And your stories.
All right, moving on.
So then he goes back to the butcher shop, and she's like crazy busy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you. My dad was a butcher."
Yeah, so happens he was a butcher.
Just so happened.
So then they, of course, do the little, montage of them like, "Oh, he's helping out,
Him violating the meat.
Yeah, very, very
Massaging it, cutting it, spanking it,
Yeah.
Speaking to it.
throwing
speaking
it.
it to it. Sorry, Toby
goes,
just farted, dude. You smell that?
No.
Yeah, he is relaxed.
Relax, us talking about meat.
He's dreaming about it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because all of a sudden I'm like,
Nice cover.
Right.
We get it.
So then,
it's about to smell like doggy biscuits. You wait.
Doggy biscuits. He's making fluffies.
Fluffies.
It's
Fluffy
from New
Clown.
Girl. Making fluffies.
Oh, I never saw it except for.
I know.
all right. So
You're gonna punch me for not watching New.
Yes.
that's a write up.
That's all right.
No.
Either that, or you like Arsenio Hall. Really dated reference. Just
Yeah.
speaking of '90s films.
Old time.
I'm
TV
glad
show.
you both did it, though. That was cute.
We're old.
Okay. So
You're Mike Myers' parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, you're Mike Myers.
She's gonna start going around. Hit me.
Oof, head.
He's be crying on his big pillow tonight.
It's going to be me after Sam strangles me after the video.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, please help. All right, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. So we meet. So then they have a date thing, and she speaks Russian to these Russians in the park. And
Fluently.
he starts to be like,
It's like, you know Russian?
That's kind of, Russian?
Weird.
That's kind of weird.
So smart.
Not everybody else knows Russian,
Yeah.
And so then they go back to her place, and they, of course, spend the night together.
I like the realism between those two of where he's like, I'm not sure if we keep going. Because it's like, of course, you're already in her place. Obviously, she wants to go forward with that. But he's still like, I don't know.
Right.
I felt that was really relatable. Because it's like, no, man, doesn't mean you're in like Flynn. Like, it's...
Right.
Right. So then, of course, she's the one who was like, you're staying the night, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that cute little run up with his pants down around his
Oh my
ankles.
God.
And then you wake up the next morning, she's gone, and he
Opens the shower door.
opens the shower door, not knowing that she's gone, not knowing that anybody else was in that.
Right.
in her
Thinking it was
apartment.
her.
Thinking it was her. Opens it up. Holy shit, it's not her.
It's her
It's
sister.
her sister.
It's Wyrus from The Hunger Games.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also known as Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. And so he, of course, freaks out. She's like, I won't tell her about what we just did.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
weird shit.
Okay.
And he's like, we didn't do anything? Oh, before saying like, hey, I can make you some bacon and eggs and hash brown. And it's like Fruit Loops without milk.
That's all we had.
We didn't have anything else. And it's like, okay.
Did you guys ever like put cereal in a bag and just like snack on it?
Mhm.
Not really.
Girl dinner.
Girl dinner? Sad. No money in the bank account.
Listen,
And I'm single dinner.
I enjoy a good bag of
Oh,
like Kix cereal.
Like a snack.
Yeah.
Kix is for kids.
That's Trix.
That's tricks.
Sounds the same. I don't know.
know.
Which is funny. Never mind. All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Which is funny, but
You know-
you don't get to hear it.
So there's a band called Kix from the 80s. It was a hair metal band. They're pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah.
It was a hair and metal.
Hair metal band. You don't know hair metal? Like Poison, Motley Crue, hair metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. You know they're coming out with a Motley Crue movie, or did they already make that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They already kind of did.
I thought they were doing it again.
Probably.
Maybe.
No clue. All right, so then Harriet comes home, right? Does she see them together or no?
No. He goes off to do his thing. He brings her.
Oh, does he
to
go
a
to
couple
Alcatraz?
Yeah, they do Alcatraz, where they have Phil Hartman playing
Vicky.
John Johnson, but everybody calls me Vicky.
Which is so
And then
funny.
talking about the ocular.
Yeah,
cavity.
and then he's like, and then here I'm gonna tell you guys something that I don't tell just anybody. There was a guy who shivved another guy's eyeballs out, and then they all took turns pissing into his ocular hole or whatever.
Yeah, Mike Myers' face during that afterwards, being like
Yeah,
just mildly disgusted, like what the fuck.
but before they even go on the tour, he's like, "Oh, he's the best."
Yeah.
He is the best. I would be over there like,
I'm
yeah,
like,
whoa,
"Oh."
that's fucked up.
Of course, it had nothing to do with the plot whatsoever.
Yeah,
No.
I loved it though.
But it was just kind of fun.
It was a good break because it shows the friendship between him and Phil Hartman, from LaPagula's character. And what's cool is too is like his connection to his boss, who was like the best boss ever.
Yeah.
To where he's like wanting to have the movie cop experience. So LaPaglia's like, "Could you just do this and do that?" He's like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden
If you
later
want
on
me
in
to
the
be
movie he
mean.
does, and it's so nice.
Do I really have to be mean?
Yeah, he doesn't want to be mean.
Did I do
don't wanna be
okay?
Was the ethnic slurs a little too much for you? Was that too much?
No, you just didn't say this right.
No, I just gotta go. You're doing great.
So then after Alcatraz, he brings Harriet to meet the parents.
Yeah.
First off, the dad doesn't even have pants on when he's walking down the street.
And surprises her, and she does
Mike
like
Myers really did not want to wear pants in this film, and I get it. Listen, I understand. I don't want to wear pants half the time, but
Yeah. He's probably trying to get
saw a lot of his legs in this film.
He was like, let me just see how much I don't have to wear pants.
I mean, granted, he has nice legs.
Yeah, he does.
Fun fact: Mike
doing that
Myers
Thigh
shaves his
Master.
ass in the early '90s.
Yes, he does, and it was firm. You can see from that hand grip.
That was kind of funny how she just kind of slow went.
Yeah.
Yeek.
I
There's a
mean,
little-
what else do you do? He kept hugging, so it's like, all right, how to
Oh, that's
how to
when he met Ralph.
meet that level? Yeah.
It was so weird because like there was so many little subtle jokes that hit really well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where he sees the paper when he goes to use the restroom, and from her prior conversations with her,
Right.
Mhm.
he
The
sees all the
poster.
connections from
Yeah,
like
the Atlantic
oh,
City poster.
Yeah, the
Her
martial
saying
arts.
Martial arts.
Ralph.
And Ralph, when she's having those nightmares, of course, she's like, she's, it's a
Well, she also had a friend named Ralph, which is so
But
weird.
She did have a friend named Ralph, yeah.
She
Who was
had
a
a friend
girl?
named Ralph and then like went and married a Ralph.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
I just keep on thinking
can
of
only be
Ralph the
one.
pianist and the
That'd be
Muppets.
kinda weird.
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. I don't know what that sound is.
You know, like Ralph sounds like Bar Bar. It's Blue's Clues Ralph. Bar Bar.
All right. So then he starts to really suspect her, and then he breaks up with her because he's like, she's a psycho. I don't want to be with a psycho.
Right.
And so he does his whole Harriet, sweet Harriet,
Yeah.
you are a murderer.
Well, like
Whatever his
he
poetry
talks
was.
about the butcher thing, and then he's reluctant to even break up with her. He looks at the projector screen for a little bit, and then he doesn't even blow out the candle like he does in the other ones.
Right. So, he really feels for this woman, and he's like, you know what? Damn it. Why can't she be normal?
Right.
Well,
Well,
that-
I think he's realizing maybe at that point that he's being a little ridiculous with all the paranoia. And it's like the boy who cried wolf on himself. He's like, oh my God, I just do this all the time. So obviously
Well,
I'm projecting again.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned Cry Wolf, because the original title was supposed to be Love and Fear, the story of a man who cried wife.
Oh,
Oh, no way.
that's
Yeah.
funny.
That's a really long and terrible title, but that's
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
That's a really long and terrible title.
Yeah, I don't think it would have done anywhere near 11.5. If
They would have been like, oh my God.
what? It only made $100?
Mike Myers saw it 10 times.
Okay, so he then realizes. Okay, so then
Gets the call from his cop buddy.
right, because his cop buddy starts investigating the thing into it, and then his cop buddy's like, "Hey, somebody confessed to the murder of Ralph Elliott." Da da da. And so Mike Myers' character was like, "Oh shit, let me go get back here." And then he brings the band from the coffee house outside her window, like, you know, they do in those cheesy 90s movies.
With the boombox. He took it a step further. He brought the whole band.
A step further.
He had Kenny G on retainer.
I don't want to kill you. This isn't Kenny G. I just want to get back together.
And marry
Do.
Sweet jazz up in here.
It's been a very jazzy Valentine's Day episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love when, like, every time we do a podcast, trying to find the ways that
connections.
everything ties. And they always tie in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very funny.
especially with the murders in both movies. No.
Oh, yeah. When Emma Stone got murdered. Kenny, the guy who has Kenny G on retainer.
He wasn't the pool guy who did a leap into the...
It was Mike Myers.
It was him the whole
We
time.
figured it out.
That's funny.
All right. So then he's like, "Oh, Harriet, I love you." She's like, "I don't want you back." But then she does want him back.
Right.
And then he proposes to her after the parents, at the parents' anniversary party, their 30th. And at first she was like very hesitant. And then she's like, what was the line that you caught? Where she was like, "They always leave me," or something.
I forgot exactly. I should have written it down. I forgot the line that she says.
They always like disappear
Oh, no,
or
she
leave me
said-
at the honeymoon.
No, she said at least, because it was when he had
First.
rejected her.
Uh-huh.
She said at least you did it before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Before the honeymoon.
Right, which is when I realized, she's not the murderer.
Murderer.
It has to be
The sister.
her sister, Irish.
Mm.
TikTok, TikTok,
Crazy psycho bitch.
TikTok.
She plays that a lot, it seems like.
Plays good.
Yeah.
Plays it good.
Very
so
good at
then he's like, "What the fuck?" Then I don't remember what happens after.
They get married.
Well, yeah, because they have the anniversary.
Right.
And then-
they get engaged
And then-
there.
And then
Yeah.
right away they got married.
Right. It goes right to the wedding, which is very funny because when she sings that karaoke song and
Oh.
Mike
Both of
Myers
them.
and LaPaglia look at each other like,
Yeah. We have a paper down.
Especially when she
He's
starts
based-
speaking. Well, because they said that she knows all the words to "Only You" in 6 different languages or something. And then they're like heard it, and then like when she said it in French, when she sung it in French, then they're like, "Holy sh!"
Yeah.
Right.
But then his friend's like, it was just something like that. So he's like,
was
yeah, just something. But as
wasted.
soon as he like doesn't see his friend's like, oh man,
right,
Right.
like,
this is looking bad.
And then of course they go to their honeymoon, and on their way to their honeymoon, she almost killed him for real. When she like.
Oh, when she dove on him in the car.
car.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Because he's like, "Oh, I'm the best husband," or something like that. And she's like, "What do you mean by that?"
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
He's like, I
Yeah.
fucking,
I was
I
just
don't
saying
know.
that I was the best husband.
I'm trying to be funny.
And
She's
then
like,
pounce.
Oh yeah, she gives him a big hug when she's like, oh, I love
when
you.
he's
blah, blah.
driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, spooky.
Mhm.
And then they get to the whatever. Was the
resort.
entire background in that scene CGI?
Well, what they did is like it's a matte painting, so they put it over the actual camera lens, and so it's the real building and whatever here, but everything else is a painted backdrop.
Painted. Interesting.
Yeah.
And so this is where on the other end you have the cop finally getting like the call. Either he got the call or the chief told him that was like, Ralph confessed to all these other murders, like Abraham Lincoln and somebody else. And
Oh yeah.
he's like,
she's a quack.
She's a quack.
She's crazy.
And then that's when Anthony Paglia's character, what was his name? We're just keep on saying.
I have literally no idea.
Filbert.
And
It was Kenny.
It was Kenny.
Kenny G.
So, well, like, so he goes at first the power's going out. He's trying to call him up to let him know, to warn him, but the phone goes out. Actually, power didn't go out yet. The phone went out.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah, the phone lines.
And she's acting weird already because she's like, stay right there.
Right.
But and then she goes into her little powder, like her face powder thing, and then she pulls out like 3 wedding rings, like 3 engagement rings on a chain.
Yeah.
And so like you're like, okay.
Also, what a weird amalgamation of people at that hotel being like, oh my God, let's all of us get up and dance in the middle of dinner, and then we're gonna lift you up on a chair like we're doing the horror. And
it kind of seemed like it was one of those destinations like that hotel that like you either went there for very special occasions like anniversaries or like your honeymoon. So I feel like that catered to that specifically.
It's like St. Augustine.
That's why there was like so many of them in like the one room, and then I don't know what the chair.
They're just like
was.
acting all weird. They're like, come here and sit in the chair.
Yeah, the chair was kind of weird.
Yeah. I was like, are they all axe murderers? Is that the twist?
It's a conspiracy.
Oh my God.
Sacrifice. It's Midsummer with a comedy.
So then you start. So like once Anthony Paglia's character finds out that the lady didn't murder Ralph, he started sending the pictures of Harriet to the other, like one to Atlantic City's PD and other places, and they're like, oh yeah, that's her husband, her wife, or his wife, or whatever. And so like he's getting more and more suspicious. He tries to call, but the phone thing's out, and then he's like, I'm chartering a plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
And it goes so far, and then he tries to commandeer a vehicle, and the guy's like, I, for one, know that you can't do
because it was
that.
Charles Gordon, and he's like, no.
And he's like, what? Please? And he's like,
No.
no.
I'll drive you.
Yeah.
And then they get to the hotel. Can you just wait?
He just drives off.
And then he's like, no.
It's hilarious.
So then this is where things turn for the worse. And for some reason, there's like an axe inside the honeymoon suite.
It was for chopping all that wood.
I thought she brought it with her. Was it in there?
No, it was in
Oh,
there. It was
okay.
in a log by the fireplace. For all that wood.
So it's like...
Chop your own wood. It's for those fantasies they want to live out.
Or maybe for the couples that do want to just make it the one night of their honeymoon.
I don't know.
Maybe they were
Mr.
expecting the axe murder.
Lumberjack.
So...
Strike that wood.
She grabs it, right? And then she starts to... first he reads the note.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the...
Well, no, she jumps on him first, because doesn't he lock her in the closet and then he reads the note?
Oh, yeah.
Because again, she's acting weird.
She locked the door.
You
She's
know.
like,
right.
door. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry.
Like, oh my God.
I think I locked our door on our honeymoon.
Yeah, but not like, I gotta lock the door. I gotta talk to you.
Yeah.
He's
I've
like,
been married
oh my
before.
God.
I know.
I need to talk to you.
Shink the axe. Stay back.
Yeah.
And then he locks her in the closet. He sees the suicide note pretty much.
Suicide note.
Well,
The note that he's leaving, not that he's committing suicide.
yeah, because the note said,
Right.
I can't take it anymore. Or I guess,
It was when I was like,
note-
I'm leaving.
the note. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Not-
He's like, I'm
leaving.
leaving.
So
That's what
it's
made
not
him
the
confused, because he's
world.
like, I'm leaving Charlie. Well, wait a minute. And then he's starting to like, why would it be? And then that's when she came around. And he's like, what the fuck?
Sam is just very macabre and is like, I'm leaving.
She wants somebody to die.
I did. Oh, well.
Her bloodlust has not been satiated.
I need to find Kenny G.
Whoever he's with, you need to put him on retainer so that you can go around.
You hear his like instrument in the distant background echoing through the hall. And you're like, oh, no.
It's like that movie It Follows.
Yeah.
But instead of like an
yeah.
STD, it's just Kenny G.
So instead of seeing like the person that's following you, it's like nobody can see Kenny G but you.
But you
That's
can hear him.
You hear that
You're
music?
like,
Is
do
that
you guys hear that music?
smooth jazz?
Shit, is that Kenny G? I need to go. I have to go.
It's an allegory to STDs.
All right, so Harriet's in the closet locked. He sees the note, and then all of a sudden, what's her name? Crazy bitch lady comes out of nowhere with a poncho or a raincoat or whatever.
All American Psycho style.
And the axe, and she's like, "You took her away from me."
Yeah. So a fight on the roof ensues and ball busting
in
and
the middle of a lightning
Multiple
storm.
ball hits, and then the fourth wall break.
yeah, where he stares
Where he's
into it
like-
with his eyes going. "Ugh."
And then he kicks her in the coochie, which also, that's a smart move. I feel like not a lot of men know that
I
the
like-
coochie hurts just as bad.
I like how she's looking at him like, why? Like it wasn't even. It was more confusion than pain.
I mean,
To
I was
throw
just about
her
to say, if you've
off.
ever been kicked in the coochie, but you have
No.
not. It hurts.
Have you?
Perhaps.
By Kenny G.
I heard that music too late. I thought. I was
Perhaps is what's
on an
funny
elevator.
on this. It's like
All right.
perhaps.
So then Anthony Paglia is actually questioning Harriet still. You can hear the two
Oh
on
yeah,
the roof.
yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, "No, you're the murderer." And she's like, "No, they're on the roof. You got to get." He's like, "No." He's like, "I'm arresting you right
He's
now."
like, I don't think you understand how this works.
So then he like brings her out of the hotel. Then all of a sudden, of course, then you see him, Mike Myers on the rooftop with the crazy bitch. And then you see that and he's like, "Oh, maybe she didn't do it."
Yep. But she doesn't die. Nobody dies.
Nobody
Nope.
dies.
She gets captured, and then he has a new poem about
Sweet
Jailbird.
Harriet and the jailbird. And she's
Yeah.
just in the backseat of the car
Rose.
like,
Rose.
Rose.
Sweet No.
No, not Sweet Rose.
No, sweet.
Caged Rose.
Cage
Yeah,
Rose?
Rose. Cage Rose.
Too bad it wasn't like
Us.
her name was Catherine, because it doesn't be like Canary Catherine. Jailbird.
What about Rose Robin? Robin Rose.
There you go. Caged bird.
Caged bird.
And then it ends.
This is why slam poetry is not my thing.
It's a,
Then it ends with the poetry.
you just stand and look at everybody.
So it begins and it ends with the poetry.
It does.
And jazz.
And sweet jazz.
On this Unsolved Mysteries.
So
And
before we,
Ryan Gosling?
so before we
It
get
just goes back of what could have been.
It goes back, but it's just the start of La La Land. Oh dear.
Okay, so before we get to everything else, there's a fun fact that I thought would be interesting. The actors who were considered for this movie for various parts. Let me start at the top. Nicole Kidman, Emma Thomas, Tim Allen, Anthony Hopkins.
Tim Allen? For who?
I believe for the police chief.
That's a
Well,
very
it's
young
funny.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen and Nancy Travis are in that one show, Last Man Standing, together.
Anthony Hopkins, Tina Turner, Anne Bancroft, Glenn Close, Brooke Shields, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Dan Aykroyd, David Spade, Jeff Daniels, Rod Stewart, Leslie Nielsen, Ellen DeGeneres, and John Candy.
Well,
Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
Was out of nowhere with that pick. Forever young.
Now, they either had scheduling conflicts because they were doing other movies, or they just thought the movie was crap.
it was
Allegedly.
probably the scheduling conflicts, because I mean Adam Sandler was,
There was
in Mixed
there was
Nuts,
a,
and
there
I
was
feel
like
like this one was
few-
better.
There was like a lot of them that had the scheduling conflict. Most of them were on SNL at that time. Mike Myers was on SNL, but he took a leave of absence to do this movie specifically. So I'm guessing the other people
No.
just didn't want to do that. Happens.
Dan Aykroyd would be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm guessing police chief?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Seems like they're
John Candy, the Alcatraz person.
Oh, that would have been great.
That
I mean,
also
Phil Hartman was great too, but that would have been also good.
Dang.
But all right, so let's get into the screenplay.
All right.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Juliana.
Oh yeah, okay. Right after I died. Thank you. I rated it a 7. Because I'm normally, I think I said this with Mixed Nuts, I'm not typically this type of humor, like, doesn't hit the spot. But something about Mike Myers and the line delivery that he has is freaking hilarious. Maybe I just grew up with him, like, you know, Cat in the Hat, Shrek, whatever, that I just find him fucking funny. But a lot of his stuff did hit, so that's nice. I thought the ending was just a little weird. Like, it was off tone for me with the comedy. Like, the breaking the fourth wall, the multiple, like, the interview between the cop and Nancy's character, Harriet, while the screaming's going up at the top. I was like, this is the over-the-top stuff that I'm like, oh, my God. So, yeah, but it was very good.
I want to gave it an 8. I thought there could be a murder on the screen. Okay.
Yeah, someone needed to get axed.
And not
Kenny.
just talked about that. Okay. No,
Mr. G.
I thought there could have just been a little more, with the trying to figure out who the character was, the murderer, and it wasn't so obvious. I wish that wasn't as
it was very
as
obvious who it was.
I gave it a 10. I loved it. It's right up my alley for this kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I didn't like the fourth wall break because there was no establishing of the fourth wall
ever.
Right.
But I kind of throw that towards direction more than anything,
right?
Because it really wasn't in the screenplay as much as I don't think screenplay probably said please fourth wall break. Right. So yeah.
All right.
See, I gave direction a 9. I give it higher than my screenplay because although the writing and the jokes weren't necessarily my style, I feel like the direction of it was just so like precisely spot on. Like the fact that it was still,
I gave it an 8 because it was just, there was some things that could have been cinched up a little better as far as direction goes, Some of it was off, some of it, but a lot of it was on par.
Yeah.
And direction for me was 9 for the simple fact of the fourth wall break.
Yeah.
So
it was just a weird call to do that then.
Still funny. It just wasn't established.
Yeah.
All right. Acting. I'll start. I gave it a 10 because I think everybody acted their part, whether it was funny or when it was supposed to be serious.
I love it. Honestly, if I could rate it just on Mike Myers, I'd give it a 10. But I gave it, what the heck? I gave it an 8. My eyes did that thing where it was like,
Same.
Like, just kidding, no.
Same. I gave it an 8. It was really good. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Cinematography, I gave it an 8 because it was just very simple. There was nothing really fancy about the, angles or anything like that.
I gave it a 7 for the same reason. Yeah.
Same reason, just 7.
Yeah.
A lot of establishing shots, but 7.
Yeah.
To remind you you're in San Francisco.
Right.
Editing.
Did you forget? We're in fucking San Francisco, bitch.
All of a sudden, Nevada. Just kidding, San Francisco.
San Francisco, baby.
Could it be because of the bridge?
Is that the Full House? Maybe.
What about the trolley?
Perhaps.
All right. So editing, I gave it a 10 out of 10. One of the things that I really liked about the editing is like in the very first cut scene where you go from the cafe to the street scene is that like they had was it the trolley? What's that thing on the wheel?
Trolley? What?
Thing on the wheel?
Like the ding ding?
Yeah.
That's a trolley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was for some reason, my brain, I was like, is that the trolley?
That's a car.
That's the rice-a-roni.
That was what I was thinking. I was like, it's not the rice-a-roni car.
No, it's the
I'm
trolley.
confused about this rice-a-roni.
Okay, so it was.
Did I miss a rice-a-roni car?
In commercials? They would always have that.
She's talking about the trolley. Like,
Oh.
where was the
Like,
trolley?
No, I got that. I just don't know what
Trolley.
the rice-a-roni car is.
It's a trolley.
The
It's a
because because it's a San Francisco tree or something like that.
Yeah.
oh.
So their commercials would have the trolley. Anyway, so what I really liked about that was like they had the trolley come in and change the scene as it was coming in.
That's cool.
So I was like,
I didn't notice that at all. No. Went
That's
right
good.
over my
Good
head.
catch.
Nice. I gave it an 8. I thought it was, it was well paced. I think some things, I don't know.
I slammed it in for
happens.
I gave it a 10 because the pacing was perfect. It didn't feel long in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of creativity with it, but to me, it was great.
right.
Right.
Sometimes the simpler, the better.
So, yeah, don't overdo it.
Right. Music.
You gave it an 8. I liked I was singing along. I was like, yeah, some oldies.
Perfect soundtrack for that time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a jam.
Yeah, I gave it a 10 because it was timed perfectly too, and the instruments. And
Not weird folksy music for no reason after
Yeah, no.
like there's no folksy music like when they're on the roof going.
yeah.
Yeah. The addition of Kenny G at the top was,
I gave it the good old 8 for that.
yeah.
Overall, I give it.
So
Did you use special effects?
Oh no,
I was like, wait.
I gave it a 7 for special effects because there's only a few items like the matte painting on the lens. I thought it looked really nice. So I gave it a 7.
I disagreed. I didn't like it. I also didn't like the lightning striking. I was like, okay. But
Yeah, I took up
it's
points for
also
the
an
lightning
older film,
strike
so like,
for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
but I gave it a 6.
I gave it
I didn't
an
like
8
the matte.
because of the lightning strikes, pretty much.
But they're fun. No, it's okay.
I mean, it was very creative. Like when you told me that they had painted it, I was like, oh, it's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
there's a lot of films back in the past like that.
Oh,
There's
that's
like
cool.
tons of Star Wars, RoboCop, all those.
If you think
Matte
about
painting.
it, though, like Elvira and this movie had the same lightning.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They
yeah.
recycle it a lot.
Yeah. I was like, oh, the lightning.
It's a way to cheap out on the budget so that way it's like just use the same thing.
Right.
Alright.
Overall,
I give it a 9,
Gave it an 8.
7.
and I would keep it because it's one of my favorite movies to watch.
I love it.
I gave it a keep. Yeah, for sure.
For the same, I gave it a stream. I honestly was thinking about keeping, and then I was like, probably just stream it because I'll watch it again, but I don't know if I'd watch it like over and over again. But it was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well.
this will conclude this episode. But when we get back for the next episode, because we had to do a split, this is kind of like a part 1.
Part 1 of our romance.
Part 2, we're going to turn up the heat. We're going to do erotic thrillers
Erotic thrillers.
for the Valentine's Day close off.
I just got
One of them
chills.
rated better than the other.
Yes.
So we will see our ratings.
Yeah.
Are you guys just gonna make me watch porn?
This is not an adult
Yes.
show.
I
No,
understand now.
kidding.
It is pretty much really well written softcore.
All right.
And then not so well written softcore.
All right. We
We will see. We didn't see the second one, so
Yeah, nobody's seen the second one.
Nobody's seen the second one. So
stay tuned.
Until next time, kitties.
meow.
Do a little Tales from the Crypt there. You know Tales from the Crypt, yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to pretend that when we both look at you, we're equally confused, though. Like,
Okay.
Hold up.
Till next time.
Fourth wall break.
It's fourth wall break. Stare at the camera and goes, bye.